Afternoon, it's Quant Trade Edge, and I just wanted to point out a couple of 4R patterns in the energy complex. Yesterday, crude oil, I guess that would have been Friday, closed with an inside day, and the ROC had already flipped over. So we had two PF3s and an ROC flip, which can often lead to a good flushing day. And as soon as we took out that low is 107.24. You had to look a little bit to find the structure. I ended up finding it on a 10-minute chart. And this was just because as this was going up, I was looking at the 5, I didn't quite see it. I was looking at the 15, I didn't quite see it. But as it started to turn, I realized this was a good opportunity. And I just wanted to isolate a risk bar that I could use. So the 10-minute chart provided that. So we had this clean up, this clean down, this clean up, and our risk bar ended up being reasonably tight, around 65 cents, if I remember right. And so from 107.58, we hit 4R down at just under 105, about 104.98. Let's see where that is, 104. And, we've probably gotten down to about 7R now, if you count all of that. So that was a good situation in crude. Now, natural gas had a similar situation where this was an amazing bar to short beneath. And it not only created a trap against this previous all-time high for this contract. We had a really bad, really red day on Friday, so all of those things are lined up. But what happens when you gap down is you kind of lose that ability, unless you get a very clean wave up, which we didn't. We kind of ended up with this hoagie that sat around for hours and hours. And then in the morning, we broke down again, and I was looking to find that again here, where visually this looks like a pretty clean ABC pattern, but the this bar here exceeded that low by a few ticks, or maybe a penny, and in theory that's okay, but I tend to avoid those just because they happen so infrequently where they're actually good. And when they do happen, they're usually very good because it shows that on this B wave down, you took out that low, showing inherent weakness. But there are many times where it's also a trap. So just in order to keep things simple and clean and consistent for myself, I don't take, this ABC pattern where, this would have been an amazing risk bar for the ensuing move. But I don't take it because of this little violation here. But as I'm sure you will notice now, we can put our 10-period exponential on there, and we were given another opportunity. And again, it doesn't matter if you're getting in lower, as long as you're getting in at a price, after which you're not going to take a drawdown, because that's what the futures are for. They're for putting leverage on. So if you get a 4x move here, that's the same thing as had you found some way to catch this and get 4x there. You're going to make the same amount of money because you're going to risk your R, whatever your money management program says to risk, and you're going to make 4 times it. So whether it happened, here, or it happened here, you may as well stick to your guns and have, the best patterns that you're taking. And over here, we had a very clean A, B, C off the low, where this is higher. This was 517, this was 514, so this was 3 ticks higher. And this risk bar here, roughly just under 5 cents, call it 4.5 cents. And the 4R came in at about 737. So 1, 2, 3, 4, in 25 minutes, you got your 4R off of this two-legged pullback pattern. And we know from this pullback pattern that had we taken this out, that would have been a U-turn. And that could have probably led to a decent trade too. So, this would be one of those situations where you could have a stop and reverse. And, if you don't stop, you got your 4R this way. If you did, after going down and creating a down wave, if you did break through that U-turn would have likely given you, at least some play up to here. So anyway, those were just a couple of things that I saw in the energy complex. The stock market's kind of melting away, but and again, don't put a whole lot of faith in this. I'm not staying particularly close to the market right now, but it does feel very climactic. Perhaps this line connecting the lows is going to provide some support. Doesn't mean that this down move is over, but just a little bounce up to here where we don't even put in a new high. It's still a 5% move now, or more. So that's something that I think we might have in the offing. I I know I retired on Friday. Just saw this as so clean that I wanted to show you guys. The outpour of comments has been very moving, and I'm glad you guys have found value in this channel. And keep asking me questions. I do like to stay sharp on this and answer and watch and observe. So do still stay in contact, and have a good rest of the day.